This is Weekends with Alex Witt, May 5th, 2019.
Joining me now, California Representative Ted Lieu. He is a member of the House Judiciary and Foreign Affairs Committee, and we're awfully glad to always see you here. Thank you for joining me, Congressman. Look, there's a source that's telling NBC News that your committee has begun direct conversations with Mueller's team for his testimony. First of all, do you have a date for this testimony? And I'm curious about the terms that your committee is trying to iron out.
Thank you, Alex, for your question. It is correct. We are in negotiations with Special Counsel Robert Mueller for him to come testify before the House Judiciary Committee. We don't have a firm date yet, but we hope that it'll happen this month.
Okay. How about terms? Anything special we need to know? And do you refute the May 15th date that has been put out there by a member of the committee, Representative David Cicilline, who said he believed it was that day? Or is that just a working date possible?
I don't refute it. It's just not firm yet.
Okay.
And so until something's firm, we don't want to set it out there saying that it is exactly this date. I do want to note that it's important to hear from Robert Mueller because Attorney General Bill Barr completely mischaracterized his report. And we know that because Robert Mueller wrote a letter to the Attorney General saying essentially that he mischaracterized his report. That's why it's so important to have Bob Mueller come in and tell the American people what his report actually says.
Okay, and any terms that would have to be in place? Has there any negotiation back and forth on that?
That I do not know, but Robert Mueller, unlike Bill Barr, I do not expect to be a hostile witness. I expect that he's going to want to tell the truth to the American people. So I'd be happy to accommodate what Robert Mueller would want.
Picking up on the word hostile, do you expect the administration to put up a fight over any of this?
Oh, absolutely. And we've already seen them do this. They essentially have denied every congressional request. This sort of maximum denial is now unifying Democrats in Congress. I think it's also unifying the American people. The framers set up our Constitution as three co-equal branches of government. Under the necessary and proper clause of the Constitution, Congress has a right to conduct oversight and investigations, and the administration simply can't do this. And if they're going to keep on doing this, we're going to use all the tools at our disposal. We're going to take them to court, and we're likely going to win on all the requests that we have.
Okay. Your committee chair, Jerry Nadler, is threatening to hold the Attorney General in contempt if he does not respond by tomorrow to the final counteroffer for the unredacted Mueller report, all of its underlying documents as well. So what happens, sir, if the Department of Justice does not respond by tomorrow morning? What happens? Might he be jailed? Do you push for him to resign or be impeached? What happens?
Right. So let me walk you through the process. There was a lawful subpoena that the House Judiciary Committee put out to get the unredacted Mueller report and all its underlying evidence. And by the way, Republicans voted with Democrats 420-0 on the House floor to get the entire report. Bill Barr did not go along with that request. The deadline was this past Wednesday. We've now the reasonable counteroffer, gave him until this Monday to provide the materials. If he doesn't, then the plan is to go to contempt proceedings. The House Judiciary Committee has to take a vote on it, and if we vote to hold him in contempt, that goes to the House floor, and then the House can vote him into contempt. Once that happens, it triggers two things. It allows our House counsel to go ahead and litigate this issue in court. And second, Congress has inherent contempt powers. Through our own processes, we can start levying fines on Bill Barr without having to go to court.
So following the no-show to your committee, you told reporters that Attorney General Barr is now one of the most dangerous men in Washington, D.C. Why do you think that?
Two reasons. Not only did he mislead the American people, when he was told by Robert Mueller that he was misleading American people, he doubled down and continued to lie to Congress and the American people. So he is now the top law enforcement officer in America. He is misleading the American people. He is enabling Donald Trump to basically attack the rule of law. And at the same time, he's also suing to eliminate health care for millions of Americans right now in court. And that makes him a very dangerous man.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was asked if she believes Barr committed a crime. Here's what she said.
He lied to Congress. He lied to Congress. If anybody else did that, it would be considered a crime. Nobody is above the law.
All right, so like-minded between the two of you. However, DOJ spokeswoman Carrie Kupek responds saying, quote, the baseless attack on the Attorney General is reckless, irresponsible, and false. So your take on this is what? That he indeed committed a crime?
Well, the facts are very clear. He gets a letter from Robert Mueller essentially saying that he mischaracterized the Mueller report. And then Representative Charlie Crist questions Bill Barr under oath in a congressional hearing and asked Bill Barr if there were any concerns by the special counsel's office about Bill Barr's characterization of the report. And Bill Barr says no. That is a lie. So you can call it what you want, but it is a lie. And if you lie under oath to Congress, that would be perjury.
It's my understanding, as it was explained not by Bill Barr himself, but by the DOJ spokesperson, that he's splitting hairs here. That he said, when I was responding to what the investigators had been saying, what he was privy to, as opposed to what Robert Mueller was saying. I mean, now there's a lot of us that are going to go, oh, come on. I mean, you know, it seems a little bit like he's splitting hairs there. But if that's true, does Bill Barr have cover?
Not at all. Robert Mueller is the head investigator. So Bill Barr was lying to American people. He was lying to Representative Charlie Crist. And when you do that, that looks just like perjury. And so that's one reason that Representative Kathleen Rice and I have written a letter to both the D.C. and Virginia state bars to investigate Bill Barr for perjury and misconduct. And they actually have the power to revoke his bar license if they determine that's the case.
Okay. So the president is now responding as well to the subpoena that was issued by your committee to former White House counsel Don McGahn. Take a listen to him.
I've had him testifying already for 30 hours.
So is the answer no?
And it's really, so I don't think I can let him and then tell everybody else you can't, because especially him, because he was a counsel. So they've testified for many hours, all of them. Many
So as far as you're concerned, it's really, it's kind of done.
I can't say, well, one can and the others can't.
So is it done?
I would say it's done. We've been through this. Nobody has ever done what I've done. I've given total transparency. It's never happened before like this.
Yeah, but I'm curious your reaction to that, because if he gave license to Don McGahn to testify before, and that's while he was part of the White House, which he is no longer, he can't claim executive privilege, can he, to try to keep him from testifying this time, right? I mean, once he said go ahead and testify, he can testify again.
That's absolutely correct. The president has no legal case, and you need to ask, what is he trying to hide? Why doesn't he want Don McGahn to testify in front of the American people? And it's really important because with the redacted Mueller report, we already know that the president ordered Don McGahn to fire Robert Mueller. That looks like obstruction of justice, and we need to see if, in fact, that happened. And the House Judiciary Committee needs to investigate this issue, and that's why we need Don McGahn to testify.
So what specifically do you want to ask him if he gets in front of your committee?
We expect to ask Don McGahn, one, did the president ask you to fire Robert Mueller? Second, what did you think of that request? And third, what's the reason you didn't execute it? If you look at the obstruction of justice statute, however, it doesn't actually require Don McGahn to have actually executed that order. If Donald Trump merely endeavored to obstruct justice, that is a violation of the law.
California Representative Ted Lieu, it's always good to get your take on things. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Alex.
The China trade situation just got more intense. What the president is tweeting and why it could be a big deal tomorrow. That's